never thought anything about the blood.
That's a bad cut. It's urgent that Tszyu gets something done.
The speed that the blood was coming out of him, it was like he'd nicked an artery.
Like a fountain.
Shots, but now the crimson mask beginning to form on the face.
You know, when blood gets in your eyes, it's not like water.
A normal man is not going to get close to Sebastian Fundora. Tszyu isn't a normal man.
I was with the mentality that to get me out of here, you're gonna have to kill me.
And here now, Tszyu facing the tallest puzzle.
Tell you a little story actually. When the Thurman fight just got announced, excited.
It's Saturday night and I'm itching for a fight.
I think Thurman was a really good boxer. What he accomplished in his career and the fact that me and him were going together, I was red hot in my career. He was coming in with redemption on his mind. Fighting for the world title was sick. It was a big build-up, and the feeling was incredible.
I don't even know what you do. I just know they say you come from down under, and I am trying to put you under, mate.
The announcement of the Thurman fight for me was a huge moment for us, a huge moment for Tim, and I thought it was the perfect opponent for him to make his entry into the US, was to take on Thurman over in his backyard, a proud American, a great American fighter, and Tim's going over there to make a name for himself, make a statement in this division. This was going to be the perfect fight.
Start the year off right, homie.
Still not bad.
You took this fight on 11 days' notice. Tim, you're going to be facing literally a very tall task.
You know, it's been a change of events, but you know what? The show goes on. We saved it. Yeah, the whole feeling of when I found out the news about Thurman was devastating. It was. You dream of these like moments as a kid to be fighting on the stage and you're preparing and you went through injury and you got back and you've gone through different hurdles to get to this stage, and then 2 weeks before the fight, boom. Yeah, you feel lost, you feel like what the hell's happening. But luckily they were able to make a slight replacement.
Tim had already waited long enough to get to this point and fight, and he'd had setbacks in the past with Charlo, who'd gotten injured or been unavailable to fight. So we didn't want that situation happening again.
It wasn't ideal. Whatever happened, but it happened, and I was able to pull through.
When Fundora confirmed that he would take the fight, it was an interesting moment. It was one that was exciting. The fight's still on, but also oh shit, Fundora's the opponent.
Yeah, the whole process of preparing for one and going to the other, it's always weird. I've had pullouts from before, but this was a whole different pullout. This is like complete two different opposite sides of the spectrum.
This has the makings to be a really exciting fight, and I think it's a 50-50 fight, to be honest with you.
But when I was able to sort of dissect it, sit down and think with a clear head, it's another man in front of me. Who cares who they put in front of me? Just take him out. Everyone, bro. Honestly, I don't want to be this fighter that picks and chooses, man. I'll fight everyone, man. Throw back.
Las Vegas, for any fighter, I think, coming up, it was always the big show. Anybody, when you were growing up watching big fights, the big fights took place in Vegas. It's the home of boxing. That's where boxing is. When you got a big show, it's got to be in Vegas.
How many people can say they're from Australia that they headline T-Mobile Arena? It's only me involved.
When Tszyu walked into the ring in T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, it was crazy. The energy in the room was already great.
The walkout was special because I came in with Mike Tyson mentality. It brought me into a different type of feeling. Wasn't happy, I was just determined and focused on what's ahead.
And Tim walked in and he just owned that stage. I thought that he walked in, he looked unstoppable, he looked unbeatable. And for the whole start of the fight, you're like, how's he going to get in on this guy? Because when you see them actually come together, the height difference, it's crazy. Like, the questions are there. Will he get in? Can he get past them long levers? You don't see this guy get hit too often, but Tim was finding his way in and he was landing very strong. And he wasn't getting caught too much on the way through, because that's how the risks that you take. You've got to take a few punches to get in and land your own against a big guy like this.
It was the first 3 rounds, everything was going according to plan. I remember being able to feel his shots, feel his power, feel his distance.
He had Fundora worked out in the first few rounds, and I honestly believe Tszyu was going to stop Sebastian Fundora. And then came the elbow. It was right at the end of the round. I couldn't believe it.
Put my head down and it was a waterfall, you know, and I've never felt anything like that. I've had plenty of cuts here, all over my head. Usually it's a couple drops. This wasn't drops, this was fountain, so I knew it was different.
The bell was pretty much gone at the moment that it happened, and Tim turned, and I mean I'm sitting meters away from the corner. Tim turned, and as he turned, he's touched his head, and you just see the blood gushing out. It absolutely came gushing out, and it looked like, you know, he was just working off other senses. I don't know what he was actually doing. It was like he'd take a moment, wipe his eyes, he'd see him for a second, and bang, he'd still land on him. So you wouldn't question Tim in any of them moments, because he was still finding a way to land and finding a way to get it done.
I asked myself today what made me keep fighting. I think it was the feeling of knowing that I had him in front of me and I could take him out.
How do you reflect on what's just happened?
I'll come back bigger and better and stronger. Simple.
You must have felt pretty big and good and strong in the first 2 rounds where you were completely dominant. Did you think it was going to be over pretty quickly?
In all honesty, I started landing the shots, and then I don't want to make excuses up, man, but yeah, this cut was quite frustrating. I remember as soon as it happened, it was like a fountain. It was just like, I was like, no way. This rematch is everything, man. Honestly, my whole life is dedicated to this, for this particular moment. This is not where it ends, this is where it begins.